Hi, everyone. I wanted to come on for a minute and talk to you about this season of Lent and really encourage you and all of us in our time that we're super intentional and that this Lent, we actually take a hot second, take a moment to really ponder and pray about and choose how we hope to engage in something to grow closer to God during this season. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is giving something up. To me, the whole purpose of giving something up is to give something up that keeps my heart, keeps my being, keeps myself from God. Things that are idols or addictions, obsessions, things that cause anxiety or despair, or even a lot of stress or a sense of failure. I remember, this is going to sound so wild, but when my older kids were really little, we adopted them at 6 and 3. And let's be honest, it was like total chaos in the house. Lots of tantrums, lots of challenges, like lots of things unfolding. It was a hot mess for the Lord. And in that, I found myself losing my patience. And I think the real problem with losing patience as a mom that I hear from moms time and time again is it's not just the impact of losing one's patience, but then it's all the ripple effects from that. Then I feel as a mother like I failed and very sad. As ladies sometimes can super generalize and then think like I'm a failure. I'm failing. I'm a failure. And that's not true. Those are lies. But nonetheless, as humans, we struggle with those things. So really miraculously, this first Lent with the kids, after I had, I think, put my hand over one of my kids' mouths and said, "Stop it," I think kind of like a monster, my child said, which is true. It's totally true. I apologize. I hope I apologized. But anyways, I decided I was not going to lose my patience anymore. It's like taking it off the list of options of things to do when I'm feeling that stressed or that anxious. Like losing my cool is not an option. So like, here are all the other things that I can do, but I have to be honest with you, I didn't even think that at the time. I just thought, I'm not going to lose my patience anymore. God was so miraculous. I gave up losing my patience with my children. I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but it has reaped glorious dividends over all of these, 18 years of parenting. Because when we lose our patience, not only do we have all those like psychological and spiritual things that unfold, but then we also have all of the things that unfold because of that in our household. Chaos breeds chaos, peace breeds peace. And so I believe that God working through me as a mom and blessing me with that helped and has helped over time for like my kids to feel safer and my kids to heal more. This is totally imperfectly, but you get the point. So I literally gave up losing my patience. So one, giving up something for Lent that keeps us from the Lord causes a lot of stress and anxiety, maybe like I said, or other behaviors that just compound the problem and the issue of keeping us from growing closer to the Lord and growing in holiness and being sharpened and chiseled and sanctified. The second thing is to add something that encourages openness of heart to the healing and transformation of the Lord. So while the first thing is taking something away, this is adding something. And so things that I think of are sacraments like reconciliation and maybe adding in some daily mass. Some time of prayer is another idea. Different prayer forms, maybe even specifically like the rosary or the chaplet or Emmaus walk. I talk about Emmaus walks a lot because they have been like my jam very often over the years. And that's when I'll go out walking, or I used to go out running before I hurt my knee a long time ago. And I would run or walk with Jesus. And I know that sounds probably kind of wild, but totally transformative, just like laying it all out, much like walking with a dear friend, but like even more kind of transparent and full and complete. And I can remember from the time of the beginning of my walking to the end, I would just be like, interiorly transformed. Other ideas are books. There's tons of resources out there. And so if you feel really drawn to one that's specifically for Lent or another spiritual reading or adding in more scriptural reading, also maybe adding something that is something of service that's been on your heart, like delivering communion to the sick or elderly, just any kind of volunteering somewhere. I have friends that volunteer at the homeless shelter. There's so many options and opportunities out there to accompany others. And lastly, an idea is to do something on your heart that has been kind of like bugging you and maybe been like poking you a little bit. Like maybe if you feel like your family hasn't been sitting down as regularly for family dinners, that, you're going to say like 5 times a week, we're going to sit down and have a family meal, and maybe you're even going to cook together or whatever else, like something that, like I said, opens your heart and brings in that like greater sense of communion with the Lord, openness to the Lord, and in many of these situations and ideas with one another. So know I'm here praying for you and here to support you if there's any way that I can encourage your heart during this time. And, just blessings to you during this Lenten journey. And there are tons of podcasts for you with Mamas in Spirit. There's a Lenten series I've already started recording. They are such a gift. And so I encourage you to hear the witness and testimony of others so that you can open your own heart, hopefully, to the Lord for the transformation that only He can give. God bless and keep you.